Wow. Gosh, it is so nice to be here today with you. So I hope you're okay wherever you are. And if you're doing better than okay, then that just is just such a wonderful bonus. All right, so let's just hop right in today. So a few days ago, a very dear friend of mine and I had met. And at one point she asked me, what do you do when you see the world falling apart around you? And how do you cope with that? And I was so glad that she asked this question because as I heard the answer that I shared with her, I realized that it was something that I wanted and needed to share with you. And this is how I responded. I do not experience the world falling apart. I am very aware of the tragedies occurring in the world. I'm aware of the suffering. I'm aware of pain. I'm aware of war. I'm aware of all of these things. However, in my true reality, I do not experience the world falling apart. What I see every day is a world that is doing more and more amazing work. I see individuals all around me practicing yoga, going for walks, eating more healthfully, setting health and wellness goals. I see people meditating. I see people meditating together. I see people looking at the finger that's pointing to someone else and all of the shoulds and the criticism and turning that finger back to themselves and saying, what is this showing me? This criticism, this judgment, this shoulding, this shouldn'ting. What is it showing me about myself? What is it showing me about my own beliefs, my own fears, maybe my own stories about lack, not enough? What does it show me about my own forgetting about this incredible universe that we live in? So right now, and I would say for many years, I have truly experienced the world doing great. And it fills my heart with so much joy. And this is what I tend to focus on. Now, there are certainly times when pain and suffering and challenging or even tragic situations can come into my more immediate Savitri zone. And in those moments, I certainly feel compassion. I certainly try to be as present as I possibly can so that I can take action, so that I can offer love and support, so that I can react or respond appropriately to bring as much love or healing or immediate relief or even emergent care if needed. So all of these things, all of these experiences of hardship are not foreign to me. They do come into my zone at times. But because I am seeing and perceiving and focusing on consciously all the amazing things happening in the world, all of the healing that I see, all of the creativity that I see, all of the kindness that I see, that phenomenon, that kind of phenomena is what comes into my zone more and more and more. And this is because of what I talk about all the time is that the universe tends to reflect back to us what it is that we're putting out and where we're focusing our attention. So if we are focusing our attention on all of the healing, all of the breakthroughs, all of the positive growth and transformation, the new friendships being formed, the peaceful alliances being formed, then that is what grows in our realities. And it's also growing in a greater reality. Now, I know there might be some critics out there, and there might be those who are feeling disagreement or even threatened by what I'm sharing here today. Now, that being said, if that's coming up for you, then I would say that is perfect. And I am not here to convince anybody, but I am here to share a perspective. And perhaps in your own time, this might be something that you want to revisit, something you might want to consider, maybe get curious, do some internal reflection and a little bit of excavation work, and just see what you find and maybe what changes. So the other thing that came up in this conversation is, so what do you do if you do feel inspired to help a part of the world that does come into your zone, that touches your heart, that seems to be falling apart or suffering in some way? And again, this is a great question. And what I would say personally is based on my own experience. So when those things come into my zone, I honor it. I honor the karma. I honor whatever my heart tells me and my spirit, and whatever inspiration or enthusiasm or even adrenaline comes through me to respond to that situation. Because there's also the idea of honoring your incarnation. So when you came to this earth and when you took your human form, there may have been things in your DNA, in your plan, whatever it is that aligns with your beliefs, in God's plan for you to do, things that only you are here to do in your own way. And these are incredible experiences for you to engage with and to honor and to play out. But when we take action from this place of awareness, so when things come into our zone where it does appear like something's falling apart or needs help or is suffering, we can begin to really act from the heart, from that place of consciousness and awakeness, not from that place of fear or lack, or at least not as much as we're training ourselves to act from our hearts. And then we can do beautiful work, and that's when the work truly becomes magical. That's when the serendipities happen. That's when it seems like all the forces of the universe sort of line up and help us. That's when the miracles happen. So that can be something to really, really embrace and honor and play out. Now, circling back just for a moment before we wrap things up, I want to come back to that perspective of truly not experiencing the world as falling apart. Now, if that perspective feels like too far of a leap for you, and that just does not seem accessible, even if you're a little intrigued by it, I want to encourage you to trust that. Trust exactly where you are. And I'd like to offer an alternative perspective, and that's this, that sometimes the world needs to fall apart in order to fall into place. And if we can begin to explore that idea that things need to unravel so that they really can fall into place, whether it's a relationship or jobs or even the borders of a country, sometimes those things need to happen in order for harmony to emerge. Now, this is such an interesting topic. I think there is so much room for growth here and exploration. And I would love to know down in the comments below, where are you with this? How does this perspective land with you? And if you have anything that you would like to share, words of wisdom, anything of a positive and growth encouraging nature, please share that down in the comments below. All right, everybody. I am sending you so much love today. I'm sending you healing today, if that is something that you are needing or wanting in your life. And I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being, and thank you for joining me today. It means the world. All right, everybody, take care.